We're back. It's December 17th. Muzzleloader season is still in. We got the rest of the week to try to fill a couple tags with the smoke pole. Had a sweet hunt yesterday. Had a lot of deer action, so I'm going to go down here and hunt the same exact spot that I did yesterday. Got to see two different bucks. One of them was decent. The other one was a really young buck, just a little forkhorn, and 3 does. So hopefully one of the does will make the same mistake that younger buck did and come right in. That little bit better buck, I probably could have killed him. Definitely could have killed him if I wasn't trying to move that camera arm. But if y'all haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was pretty sweet. Got to see a lot of action. So I'm going to get on the move here. I got to get down in the tree. I'm running a little bit later. We've got about 30 minutes before shooting light, so I got to get moving. But stick with me. Hopefully we'll get some action. I'm in good shape here. Set up. It's been sleeting since I got in here. The wind was blowing pretty hard when I first got set up, but it's starting to slow down a little bit, which is good. But the sleet snow mixture is picking up. It's okay though. I'm hoping this will get them on their feet, get them moving around. Trying to find food and get warmed up. There's a big cedar thicket below me that has a lot of browse in it, so I'm thinking they're going to be using it pretty heavily because they can be out of the weather and feed at the same time. Hopefully something will make its way by us here soon. It's about 10 o'clock. I haven't seen anything this morning so far, but we've got a pretty good dusting of snow, so I think I'm going to go do some still hunting. The deer are just so much easier to see when there's snow on the ground like this. They just stand out so much more. It's a lot easier to still hunt and be successful. So that's probably what I'm going to do. The big challenge is doing it while self-filming. That's the hardest part. But this obviously isn't producing anything, and I think that they're going to be lower in draws out of this wind because that wind chill's good. It's chilly, as you can hear. But the way the wind is blowing, I can work up this creek bottom all the way to the back of this farm and have no issues with my wind at all. And I can be super quiet with the snow. So I'm probably just gonna take it real slow, walk 25 or 30 yards or so and sit down for a few minutes and keep doing that all the way up this creek bottom. Try to get lucky. Hopefully we'll find some deer and maybe get a shot on one. I came really close. I was walking the road that runs along the creek, and I had stopped and was standing there for a few minutes, and I looked to my left and here came a deer straight at me on the road, and I just couldn't move. The camera was on the tripod, but the deer was 30 yards when I saw it the first time, and I just froze and stood there. And here came 5 more after it, so I had 6 deer walk up the road, and they couldn't figure out what I was. I was just standing there as still as possible, so they kept coming closer, and they got to about between 20 and 22 yards, stood there looking at me, and then eventually they finally figured out they didn't like it and they turned around and trotted off. Oh, I could have killed one, but I didn't, because my main goal right now is to try to get the shot on camera, so I waited, which is hard to do. But if I'm gonna go through the work of shooting one, I want it to be on camera. But that's what makes this so hard, especially self-filming. That's the hardest part. But just gotta keep trying, can't give up. I'm gonna walk out these fields, see what I can see, and I might head over to another farm on the other side of town, depending on what happens. But there's some serious movement. Right after I saw those, I saw another deer. It was far, it was probably 300 yards off, but it was working across the ridge top, so they're definitely on their feet moving, which I figured they would be as soon as that snow quit. But I guess we're just gonna have to keep trying and see if we can get one on camera. See, it's just so hard, everything has to be perfect. It's a challenge. That's what makes it fun though. Y'all keep watching. Hopefully we'll put something on the ground or have to head home. We'll see what happens. Just spotted some deer. Super far off. Not on property I have permission. But it's a good sign, because that means they're moving and they're in the fields. Hopefully one will be where I can get to it. Oh, I hit a branch. Come on. Jeez, this is a struggle, man. Just bumped a buck. He winded me off the backside of this ridge. He pushed those does out and they were trying to figure out what was going on. Super far. Probably shouldn't have shot. Didn't end up mattering anyway. I hit a branch. You could see the snow fly off of it. This is rough. This has been a rough day deer hunting. It's the 15th deer I've seen today. I haven't got to shoot one. I have to switch things up, go get in a stand somewhere. I just spotted a deer in the edge of the woods on this field. I'm gonna try to get it in position to where I can shoot it. Yes. 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 Alright. Oh man, I can't believe that worked. I'm gonna move around here. She's still on her feet. Okay. I can't believe that worked. My reload stuff is back up here on the hill. I've got to run up here and get my reload. It thumped her. She was on to me big time. Wrong way. She was on to me big time. I can't quit shaking. Oh, I crawled through this nasty stuff as slow and as quiet as I could be. And the hard part was getting the stupid tripod set up. Okay. I gotta find a sabot. Maybe. Okay. Oh, powder spilled out. Come on. Well, it was a crazy day in the deer woods. There were lots of highs and lows, and sadly I had to end it at a low point. I tracked that doe that I shot for about 50 yards. That's all the blood I could find. She ran down the ridge, crossed the ditch, and went straight up the ridge. And I found blood, not much, specks, but I found blood all the way up until she hit level ground, and then it just stopped completely. I was pretty much crawling on my hands and knees with the blood that I was finding the whole time, and as soon as it hit level ground, I just never found anything. I'm thinking I hit her high. I haven't watched the footage yet on a big screen, so I don't know. I'm gonna check it out, but I'm assuming that I hit her high. I was really surprised when I dropped her like that, because I had it right on her shoulder, and a lot of times shooting with a muzzleloader, if you put it in the shoulder, they'll fold like that, and I really was not expecting her to get back up. And that's about the worst thing that can happen as a hunter, but if you hunt for long enough, it's gonna happen. That's just part of it. It's just gonna happen. I'm confident that the hit was a fatal hit, but with nothing to go on, I mean, there was really nothing I can do. I grid searched for roughly 200 to 250 yards beyond the point that I shot her, just kind of working half circles back and forth every 30 yards or so. And I looked for 2 hours or so doing that, besides whenever I was crawling on the blood, and just never picked anything back up. And that's part of it with hunting with a muzzleloader and making high shots like that. I'm thinking that's gotta be what happened, because there's really nothing else to explain it. I mean, even if I would have hit her back or forward low, there would have been more blood, there would have been more evidence that I had hit her lower. But with just specks like that and only finding blood when she's running uphill, I'm guaranteeing that I hit her high, and it's just tough. I've lost a couple deer that way, and it's the worst feeling ever, but I did everything I could to find any type of sign and track as hard as I gave it all I had, but that's all you can do, really. And you just gotta keep moving forward. It sucks, but there's nothing you can do. You just gotta keep hunting. Hopefully next time I won't be in that situation. Well, say situation. I did everything right, I felt like. And I had so many close calls all day long, and it drives me nuts. It's just part of it, though. It's such a challenge to still hunt and self-film while I'm still hunting, because just being on the ground like that with the deer and trying to still hunt, just the slightest bit of movement, they pick it up, and trying to get the camera set up and get set up for a shot, it's just so difficult. I don't even know. I couldn't really tell a whole lot in the video because there's so many trees in the way, but when I shot, I had a good clear hole, and I took my time, put it right on her shoulder, squeezed the shot off. She folded, and I thought that was it, but I guess not. But there's nothing you can do. That's part of deer hunting, especially with a muzzleloader. Sometimes I almost feel more confident with a bow than I do a muzzleloader. It's tough, especially if you hit them high. But I've got 8-week-old Catahoula, so hopefully next year in this situation I can put that dog on the track and not have to worry about it, because I'm confident that I killed that deer. I really am, because just from what I picked up on and how confident I was in the shot, I know my gun's on. But it's just the way it goes. That's deer hunting. Highs and lows. The highs make it worth it, though. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna get it put together and watch it later. It's just gonna make me mad again. But it'll be alright. It's just what you gotta do. You gotta keep trying. Y'all look forward to the next one. Hopefully we'll be successful. It's been a dry spell for a minute.